Welcome to Trusted Podcasts, where it's all about discovering who you are and learning the tools and strategies to make every area of your life a little sweeter. And now your host, master coach and caddy, Fader. Welcome everybody to Trusted Coaching Podcasts. Got Fader, and where are you, Fader?
Oh, see if you can guess. You know where I am because I probably told you, but please get out of the way, Fader. You see that little ocean right over there?
There's the ocean.
Yeah.
I mean, you're always by an ocean, but I don't think that's Hawaii.
Not Hawaii. It's beautiful. Newport, Southern California. Ugh.
Oh, awesome.
Beautiful place.
Have you been doing some golfing there?
Yeah, I went on a little 5-day golf trip with some of my homies and down to San Diego, and then a little Dodger game.
Oh, nice. What does that put you at in terms of the course count?
1,038.
That's not too many.
No, I don't know much. I don't know much about golf, that's for sure. Let's change the subject. I don't feel comfortable there. But if you ever want to go on a golf trip 2025, especially the Masters, you know who to call. And if you want to just put together a golf trip, I'll be happy to help you with it or work it out or tell you some great places to go play in the areas you're going to. Happy to do that. So.
And for those of you that don't know, if you actually go to trustedcoaching.com, there is a tab at the top that's like all about golf, and you can see Fader's top courses. You could see about the Masters. He's not kidding when he says that he can invite you to the Masters. Like, you could go, which is like pretty exclusive, isn't it? Isn't it like really hard to get in?
Use a different word. So snooty.
Is it?
It's too snooty for us, but it is so cool. Yeah. It's exclusive, yeah. It's pricey, and it's just the coolest thing. You need to go to the Masters because it is the greatest event in the world. Not just because I love golf; it's just the way it's done. You know, if you're an executive, if you're a manager of a company, if you own a company, I just want to take you just so you can go one day, just so you can see how an organization is truly built and ran and organized, and how efficient it is, and how beautiful it is, and how they don't miss a beat. Wow. And so I take a lot of executives, like I took the 3 top guys from McDonald's last year.
I just want to also make mention to everyone that's listening that there are so many resources that maybe they're not aware of, but you've written, I think, 3 books now? We've got
the 4th one's just finished.
Yeah, yes. The Billions, another perspective on the plan of salvation. We've got 18 holes of financial planning. We've got 1,000 courses, which is coming out soon. That's the 4th one, I guess. And the 3rd one is Daddy of the Year.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you've got family, I mean, that are LDS or any religion for that matter, and they're struggling, they want another perspective. I just shared it with 7 people in the pool just a minute ago, and it was just so beautiful. It was so sweet. Just 7 people left the church, and they're just like, don't go to any religion. And I'm like, there's ways to have religion in your life. Yeah. And an organization in your life, and here's a way to understand it a little bit differently and a little bit more, I think, beautifully. And so, those books are available on Amazon, and I think about 7 different retailers out there that are selling them for us now. Yeah. So, thank you, Tyson. Thank you.
Well, I think it's important because when we were talking just before this, you mentioned that one of the guys you shared the Billions with, that did he go to church, or he's gonna go back to church?
He left the church 20 years ago. Yeah. He left the church 20 years ago. He just made me a commitment. He said, I'm gonna go. I can take this and put it in my back pocket, and this changes a lot of different things. And it does. Yeah. It changed my whole life for the better, and the way I looked at Mormonism, and the way I look at religion, and the way I look at the whole family, and I highly recommend it. So read that book, and then read Daddy of the Year. And 18 Holes of Financial Planning I wrote for my kids because I was a financial advisor for all these years, and my kids don't know how to spend money.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did a horrible job as a dad. No,
Yeah.
I'm kind of tongue in cheek, but they're
Okay.
pretty good. They're pretty good.
No. Yeah.
They're
No.
like all
No.
kids nowadays. They want it now. They want it now.
Well, let's get
All right,
into the
what are we
topic
talking about?
today. We're talking about
Hmm.
TI-90X. Now, when you first introduced this concept to me, I was just like, is this like a spin-off of like PI-90X? So I don't know if you could like define what TI-90X is, and then we could talk about,
It's
where this
harder.
concept came to being, but let's dive into it.
Yeah, it's harder than PI-90X. Most people, it's just a physical part of it. But as you know, we do 8 topics here. We're really a simple,
Hmm.
easy organization, just 8 TI-90Xs in one. So
Yeah.
TI-90X is what everybody is used to, especially in America, where they're really heavily built on goal setting. And
Mm.
big fan of setting, I don't use the goals word, but setting TI-90X in motion, because anything that is worthy of your time and your interests and your energy is worth trying for 90 days to see if you can develop the habit, which then develops consistency. And once that consistency is there, then that's when the truth begins. It's really, will you incorporate that into your life? And so I I love this TI-90X, and I don't have to set resolutions at the beginning of the year because I am not a fan, because most people are
Mm.
done by February.
Right.
And we just take one topic, one thing that you've got to master. And I could say you want to learn how to play the piano. That might take longer than 90 days, so
Yeah.
you can stretch it out. But it might be something like, simply in the social world, you want to start eating out with one couple a month, you know?
Hmm.
And you do that for 90 days, do it 3 times. And that's something that you haven't been doing, or you've been missing, or you've been leaving out of your social life. And so the TI-90X is specifically designed to help you set that intention in play, and then we do it by quarters. Start January 1st and go to April 1st, and then to July 1st and October 1st, and then start again in January. And each quarter, we rank ourselves and give ourselves a grade and see how we're doing, and that's where the coaching comes in all
Mm.
throughout the quarter. So don't try this at home, kids. This is not something you want to try.
I mean,
Yeah,
you can, but most likely it's going to be difficult. And I think even just the accountability alone is super helpful.
yeah. If you like the word fail, which
Yeah.
Americans hate,
Yeah.
but then go ahead and do it. But because you've got to have someone coaching you in PI-90X, you've got to have somebody guiding you through it, because you're complicated. As I always say,
Yeah.
people are like, this is complicated. Yeah, I know, because you're complicated. Not my
Yeah.
fault. You're the one who's complicated. I'm complicated as a human being. There's a lot of things that go into Brent Wade and Tyson Bradley, and that takes a lot of work. Beautiful thing
So,
to do. So yeah.
um, when you pair this with the other things that we've talked about, like faves and the pyramid and things like that, what I love about it is how I think you define TI as trust it 90 days. That's
Mm-hmm.
TI-90X, trust it 90 days.
Times 90. Mm-hmm.
And I love just that phrase, because essentially what it means is there's this thing that I think is me. There's this thing that I think I want to explore. And for me personally, we worked together on me learning day trading. And so he was like, you got to put it on the 90 days. So I was like, okay, I'm going to trust that this is me for 90 days. And I've been pretty consistent in doing some paper trading and things like that. And as you do that, then it's like you discover, okay, is this really me? Is this really me? As you apply yourself to
Beautiful.
it. So,
Yeah. Well, it's a facade. If you think that you can actually get to know yourself by yourself, then you're a fake. That's all there is to
mm,
it. And
yeah,
I don't recommend it to anybody. And most people try to do it that way. It is impossible to know who you are via your own lens.
yeah,
You've got to have other people see you and get to know you. And that's why I love the one-on-one coaching so much, and the group coaching is because we can see, we can help you see yourself at such with multiple lenses rather than just one.
yeah.
Your own 2 eyes and ears. And that, it really involves the heart. And so there was a really cool moment, and of course I speak in proverbs, golf
Yeah.
proverbs. Danny
Yeah.
Summerhays, Danny the Great One Summerhays, one of the
Mm.
coolest guys on the planet. Golf family. He's got cousins. He's got brothers. They all play golf. And if you have the name Summerhays, you play golf. And Danny, he's just home off his mission. And of course, he went to the great Chilean mission, Chile, and he comes home off his mission. And he's just a couple of weeks home, and we take off for Ireland with the BYU golf team.
Mm.
And we had the whole golf program there and about 30 guests. And so Danny's vulnerable because I could never beat him when he was, just Danny Summerhays, but he hadn't been playing for 2 years. And so I played him, I think, 8 times. And I'm not going to brag because there's nothing to brag about, because I beat him because he was so rusty, right, off his
Yeah.
mission. And he just didn't have his game. But we had so much. He played so poorly that he was playing on my level. So I was able to, I was able, and I was able to keep up with him. And we got like to the 17th hole, and I hit my drive. And I hit to the right because I fade, and I was going towards this it's the gorse, and it's kind of long, and my ball went in there. And he's like, "Watch the ball, Fader. Watch the ball. Watch it." And I'm like, "Well, it's over there." Well, he hit one about 20 yards further, and it kind of was in the same line, and it went further up than me, and it kicked off the side of the hill and kind of went into the same stuff. And he's like laser focused.
Yeah.
He doesn't take his eye off the ball, and then he starts pointing at it right like that, and then he's kind of watching it. He puts his head cover on, he grabs his clubs, and he's walking, and he just doesn't talk to anybody, and he beelines it right to his ball, and he finds his ball. And there's me trotting around. Hey, Peter, you need some help finding your ball? I'm like, yeah, it's over here. I thought I hit it right here. The famous golfing words. I thought I. And so he goes, it hurts to lose your ball, Fader. When you lose your ball, it's 2 shots. You got to go back to the tee and hit your 3rd shot. You can't lose your ball. Now, there's this little 21-year-old kid, and he taught me one of the most beautiful lessons. And from that moment, I rarely lose a ball, because I do exactly what he does. My eye is right on that. And I'm like, that is TI-90X right there. That is the focus that you need to be able to be laser on your game, trying to master something that means a lot to you, whether it's playing the piano, whether it's taking 2 people out, going on a dinner every month, etc. It's that laser focus, that intention that we need. And golf, like so many things, has been my main teacher. And so many things that I've learned in golf. I've learned more things from golf than any other thing.
Yeah.
And that is one of the beautiful things right there, is if you're going to be playing that game, then you're trying to keep your score down as low as you possibly can.
Yeah.
And I'm losing my ball, and geez, coaching at BYU, and then teaching so many kids, and coaching down at Dixie. Oh, what do they call it now? Utah Tech or something? Sorry.
Yeah.
It's always Dixie. And coaching kids. I coached down there for a couple of years with the great Ron Ellison and under Bruce Brockbank at BYU, and all these great kids like Danny Summerhays, who just taught me one of the most beautiful lessons. Don't lose your ball because it's too costly. And that's really kind of what I wanted to drop down for everybody today, is just realize that, you know what, when you don't keep your eye on the prize, you lose focus, whether it's that beautiful wife that you have, or those children, or that belief system that you have, that exercise program, that relationship that's really struggling with, your boss, whatever. You can't lose your ball.
Yeah.
You can't. That's the can't word. Don't do it. It hurts. It's too painful. You have to walk a long ways back once you drop that girl off. And I know all marriages don't work. I get that. I know that all relationships don't work. They're not supposed to, but a lot of it's because we don't keep our eye on the ball. So
what I love about that is, even from a habit creation perspective, if you take a shot, if you're doing something and then you get out of the habit even for any amount of time, it is exactly like that. You have to go back, and you have now two strokes. You've now accumulated some extra baggage. You've
It's
hurt your
heavy.
game. You've hurt your game because you could have just kept your focus on the ball and just
Well,
kept
the
going.
danger, Tyson, is that we're two shots behind now.
Yeah.
And so now I got to try to make a birdie on the next hole and a birdie on the next hole. And what happens when we do that? Sometimes the
Yeah.
game goes south. I mean, we're not Tiger Woods. We can't just, he can do that, but I can't.
Yeah.
Okay. I can every once in a while, but I think I can do that all the time. No, the key in our lives is consistency. And
Yeah.
so in the TI-90X, we set the vision and then we create the plan using the
Yeah.
course, which is just one of the most beautiful things we've ever created, and that helps people break down their plan. And then the
Mhm.
action. What is the action, right? And then you measure that. And we suck
Yeah.
at measuring. That's all there is to it. Why? Because in the American culture, we measure too hard. We're too hard on ourselves.
Mm.
Well, this takes away that hardness and allows you to measure yourself with some compassion and some empathy. But once you have the vision, the plan, the action, and the measurement, then you can understand what really is coming from the other side. And that is the joy, because you're creating that
Mm.
consistency. And once that consistency is created, then you can write a book like the great Mr. Clear, Atomic Habits.
Yeah.
Then if you want to create Atomic Habits in a more beautiful way, nothing against that book, because I love it. Love it. I highly recommend it to everybody. But TI-90X is as good or better than Atomic Habit Development,
Yeah.
because it has more of a measurement, it has more of a breakdown of the plans and the action. It just
Mm.
helps so many people. So
Yeah.
thank you, Danny Summerhays, you beautiful boy. I love him to death. And he ended up going on to the PGA Tour. I think he took
Yeah.
third at the PGA one year, and he qualified to play in the Masters. And being back there and watching him play at the Masters was one of the great
That,
moments in my life. I'm sure it was one of his great moments, but
yeah.
it was for me. Can you imagine playing in the Masters?
That
Good
would be
enough to
wild.
play in that? He is.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
if you ever get a chance to rub shoulders with Danny Summerhays, go do it, because there's no finer gentleman on the planet
It's
than
awesome.
that boy.
Well,
Yeah.
I just want to be as a kind of close here, just be mindful. I think that sometimes we can say we mess up, we fall off the wagon, that's how people say it,
Mm-hmm.
of your habits and your focus, that all's not lost. It's not like this is a horrible thing. It's just a matter of refocusing. Like to get a birdie on the next hole, you got to make sure that you're focused now. And so it's just a matter of saying, okay, I didn't focus and now I've suffered the loss, but I can always re-engage. And so I think that's maybe a beautiful reminder, that because I can just see people, oh no, I've taken on two more strokes.
Well, we're not that good.
you know.
Okay, nobody's that good. Every once in a while, a Michael Jordan, a Tiger Woods comes along, but every parent thinks their child is going to be the next Tiger Woods or Michael Jordan, and they're just not. Now, all people are great. They're just not great in golf and basketball like those two guys.
Mm.
But all of us are great and have that potential within us. It's my favorite line. Everything you need, you have. But
Mm.
to develop it, to become it, don't go it alone.
Yeah.
Don't go it alone,
Yeah.
because I can't have enough people and I'm still a mess. And
Yeah.
yeah, even with all the help. And so I'm just less messy than I usually am, because
Awesome.
I got a lot of help and a lot of tools, and you need systems and you need tools, and you need a lot of love and compassion from people who are going to love you through it and help you through it, whether it's religion or whether it's your golf game or whether it's your relationship or your social life, your sexual life, your emotional life. They all need so much help. So just the one thing that we can control is you can keep your eye on the ball, and you
Yep.
don't have to take a two-stroke penalty. You can find that ball, and then might be unplayable, but at least you can just take a one-shot penalty instead of two.
Uh,
Ah,
there you
all
go.
right, brother. Thanks for everything.
You can
Have a great
trust it.
week. Go Dodge. You can always trust it, but we got the Dodgers, we got the Lakers Friday night, the Rams Thursday night, and the Dodgers Saturday night.
There you go.
I love LA. Not as much as Aloha, but let's go LA.
Awesome. We'll see you all.
Aloha.
Hey, listen, if you enjoyed this podcast, you'll want to come check out trustedcoaching.com, where you can get more support and coaching to help you become more of who you really are and to achieve the vision you have for your life. Again, that's trustedcoaching.com. We'll see you there.